What's up, everyone? It is Diecastbuffet here again. And Rockingham 2026 is in the books. Corey Heim and William Sawalich, Toyota sweeps Rockingham. And let me tell you, what a fantastic weekend of racing it was. I tell you what, man. Rockingham being my favorite short track out of all the short tracks in stock car racing. It is my favorite one. It is so cool to see the Xfinity, or now O'Reilly Series, the Truck Series, running that facility again. And I'm going to be talking about what I thought about the races this week. Obviously, the Cup Series is off. I did this last year when they returned to Rockingham, and I said, you know what, we're going to do it again. And fantastic quality of racing, man. One thing I really love about how Rockingham is with the Gen 6 style chassis or Gen 5 style chassis with the O'Reilly cars and the Truck Series ones is it's a multi-groove racetrack, man. And you saw that the entire truck race, the entire O'Reilly race. Yes, the truck race was dominated by one driver. The majority of the O'Reilly race dominated by one driver. But, man, I tell you, just the sheer racing around the track. You could run the outside, you could run the bottom. And what a fantastic style of racing. And it's so nostalgic, man. I don't know if they're going to be making the pre-orders for both of those diecasts and the 164 scale. I imagine the 124s will probably get made since the William Sawalich is his first career win. So that diecast is probably going to get made in 124. I don't know about 164. Corey Heim, hopefully. I mean, that would be really cool to get another truck win for him. How about that? If he wins the truck race at Bristol next week, that'd be 3 in a row, and he would be the only Truck Series driver ever to win the max payout for the Triple Truck Challenge or something. I don't know what it is. Anyways, it would be pretty cool. So I kind of hope he does that. That'd be pretty cool. It blows my mind that cat does not have a full-time ride. I mean, get this. He's apparently leading the points for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. This guy has missed like 3 races, okay? How is he leading the points? I mean, I understand there's a process to being eligible for the championship. I think they should have kind of an exception for Corey Heim. I mean, if you're leading the points and you miss 3 races and we're already at event 6th or 7th of the year, I think collectively it would be okay. I don't know. We'll see, but man, I tell you, Corey Heim, best prospect in NASCAR right now. Obviously, when he gets to the Cup Series or O'Reilly Series or whatever his future plans are, he's not going to be as dominant early on, I don't think. But, man, that cat has a really bright future, and I wish him absolutely the best. So, the truck race, dominated by Corey Heim. You had a fantastic finish with Caden Honeycutt. That cat, I mean, look, if he wasn't racing his teammate, I think he probably would have won the race because he would have been a little bit more aggressive. Corey Heim had a problem or something. I don't know if he had a tire going down or whatnot, but he was struggling the last 5 laps. And the beautiful thing about Rockingham, and this is going to sound kind of dorky, but even when you're racing on like NASCAR Thunder 2004, you experience this as well, how lap traffic plays a massive role at a track like Rockingham, where it is a multi-groove racetrack, right? So you have to kind of, maneuver your way around lap-down vehicles. Well, guess what? The longer a green flag run goes, the lap-down vehicles, their average speed is higher, right? You're not racing for a 35th vehicle going a lap down. You're racing against the 20th vehicle going a lap down. And it just so happened to be teammates to not only Caden Honeycutt and Corey Heim. And I'm going to be honest with you, they didn't really cut him a break, which I was kind of shocked about that there wasn't no team orders, just get out of the way and let them race. So, I don't know. Also, would it be in the Chase of the Cup format, it would have been really dumb, in my opinion, if Caden Honeycutt would have wrecked Corey Heim. I think that would have it would have been stupid, right? He made the right move, take the points, don't risk it. But if it was the playoff format, I definitely think he would have moved Corey Heim for the win, because that would have guaranteed yourself. The Truck Series runs 25 races a year. They're already halfway through the regular season. That already just about. So every win is massive in the playoff format, but in the chase for the Cup format, man, that second place finish is almost as valuable as a win with how much points you bring home. So, fantastic finish. I'm shocked Corey Heim held off Caden Honeycutt with how fast he was, but it was a really fun finish. And then in the O'Reilly race, again, dominated by one guy most of the race, Corey Day. That cat had his best race of his, NASCAR career thus far. He won both of the stages, absolutely dominant. Had a bad pit stop, lost some track position, and just absolutely could not get through the field. And that's the problem when you qualify on pole and you're up front, you have the clean air, you're running really good. Your vehicle is going to be setup-wise configured to run up front. But once you get in the dirty air and you're behind all the cars and you're having to navigate, your car's going to handle completely different. He couldn't get it up there. And that might be a little bit of inexperience as well that played a role. But for sure, he definitely showed, hey, he could do it, which is awesome because I feel like he's taken a lot of criticism, so it's good to see him run up front. And he had a legitimate shot to win today. But, hey, get the points, keep on going. So he was looking for his first career win. It really looked like he was going to get it. And then get this, Brent Cruz, who's another top prospect in the sport of NASCAR, he had a great shot to win. I think he had a tire going down or something, but he was up front in the top three for the majority of the race. He's going to be probably a threat for the championship, I would imagine. He had a great shot to get his first career win. That went wayside. And then out of all of it, it went to William Sawalich, who held off Brandon Jones, and I believe it was either Rajah Caruth or Justin Allgaier in the top four. And he got his first career win. What it really reminded me of is some of those early 2010s, what was it, K&N East Series, I think it was. I don't know if it was True Arca Series or K&N East West. Anyways, it reminded me of like the Tyler Reddicks, the Kyle Larsons, the Ryan Blaney's, drivers of that time, where they were all competing at Rockingham. I don't remember where it was on the schedule, but I remember seeing it on the Speed Channel. And you think about those drivers back then, and you look at them now, and they're every other week, one of them's winning in the Cup Series, right? A little bit of a vibe of that, so to speak. You're really watching the future of the sport contend today at Rockingham. It was pretty darn cool. All three of the drivers going for their first career win. It was pretty darn cool. I picked Heim for the truck race. Look, it's low-hanging fruit. You got to go for it. Don't take any credit for it. And then I picked Jesse Love to win at Rockingham. I was thinking, well, he won it last year, but he failed inspection, so I was thinking maybe, maybe he would win it. Unfortunately, he had an issue, and he had a pit, so... No, yeah, I think he had a pit, and then he had a bad pit stop, I think it was. It was one of those, and he was like, whatever. It was under commercial break, I think it was. And he lost like 2 laps, so that was no fun. But Rockingham, man, I tell you, it needs to be on the Cup Series schedule, and I think it will be. Like, there's no way. I would be floored if they spent all that money to repave Rockingham and reconfigure it. And I tell you what, it looks exactly how it did, 24 years ago, except for the grandstands. Like, if you just kind of like look at the racetrack itself and ignore the grandstands that are no longer there, it looks just like a Winston Cup race, man. The shot of the front straightaway, and you see the press box where it says Rockingham Speedway. It just screams NASCAR Winston Cup racing, and today's race felt a lot like that, man. I hope the Cup Series goes there. I think it would race really good. If you remember the first Iowa race in 2024 for the NASCAR Cup Series, it was a night race. It was actually pretty good. I feel like it would be similar to that, but even better. Because Rockingham on paper, yes, it's a short track, but it races so much like a 1.5 mile. If you like tire wear, multi-groove racing, Rockingham is literally the 1.5 mile of short tracks. It is so fast. I could not believe how fast the trucks were flying around there. They showed footage of some of like the Gen 4 Winston Cup era cars going around there, and they looked slow. Like, I know the racetrack was like cheese grating the tires back then, but they looked slow. The trucks have so much downforce, and the asphalt being so new, they were flying around that joint. So I think next gen would actually be really good, and I hope that it'll be on the schedule. I do think it will be on the schedule eventually. Will it be there in 2027? I don't know. The question is, what would it replace? That's going to be a very controversial thing, because some people will say, well, Phoenix has 2 race dates, okay? I don't know about that. Some people will probably say the Darlington Spring Race. I still think Darlington deserves 2 race dates. I enjoyed the Darlington races this year. I know some people didn't, but to me, I actually enjoyed it. And then some people might say, well, what about one of the road course races? What are they doing with COTA? I don't know. I mean, if you tell me COTA or Rockingham, I'm going to go Rockingham. That's just me, right? That's just me. Rockingham's my favorite short track. I don't know what the future is, but I really hope they bring it to the Cup Series. But please don't make it an all-star race. Just let it be a 400-mile or whatever race. Cup Series, trucks, ARCA, and then obviously O'Reilly Series. Heck, bring both of the ARCA series. Make it a big weekend. You could put lights at the racetrack. I'm sure they could get lights somewhere. There's so many different racetracks that have gone wayside the past 20 years. They could probably get some lights around there. And even if they don't, try to schedule it with good weather. I mean, if it was up to me, we would probably have 2 race dates at Rockingham again, because I think it truly would race good with the next-gen cars. I don't know that 1,000%, but the O'Reilly cars, the trucks, they put on a massive show. And I think the next question would be, is that, okay, do we have too many events in North Carolina then? Because then you have the 2 oval dates at Charlotte right now for the Cup Series. Then you think about, okay, what about North Wilkesboro? Okay, now you have potentially Rockingham coming to the picture. And then what about Bowman Gray, right? So to me, I feel like if you stagger them out, you could have a Rockingham race 2 weeks after the Daytona 500 like they used to, right? And then you could have one right at the end of the season. So you have the Coke 600 traditional right at the end of May. Then you have your October Charlotte race. Right now, I think North Wilkesboro is like July, give or take. And then I don't know what they do with Bowman Gray, right? But my point is, I feel like they could stagger it out to not oversaturate the market, so to speak, for the North Carolina races. But I feel like there's a way to do it. Heck, maybe even make a bundle ticket package to incentivize and kind of reward people for going to multiple events in the same, geographical location. But I absolutely think it deserves to be on the schedule. Full points race, no all-star, let them rip. I think it'd be a lot of fun. What did y'all think about the race? Make sure to, or both of them, make sure to comment down below if you'd like. And I think also it was pretty cool to see Cletus McFarland out there racing. It's kind of funny. It's like people think Rockingham, it's just another short track. And you see these drivers that have been out there 20-something years in stock car racing, and they're slipping and sliding. And you see Cletus go out there at his first start in an O'Reilly car, and he's slipping and sliding all over the racetrack. Like, Rockingham is no joke. I don't care if they just repaved it. It is one of the toughest racetracks to do. Even in the video games, it is a pain to race at, because the tire wear is extremely fast. Like, your tires wear out so quick, and then you watch the real races, and it's just like that. But I thought it was really cool. I hope he gets more starts in the O'Reilly series. And credit to him. 250 laps at an O'Reilly race at Rockingham, that's a long event. That's why it felt a lot like a Winston Cup style event. I think the Winston Cup Series ran 367, 400 laps. So, I mean, it's a pretty large sample size. He didn't wreck the car, right? He spun out, I think, once, nearly wrecked 2 or 3 times. But keep it at one piece, W. I think he did pretty darn good. And I heard he got 4th, I think, in the ARCA East Series race, which, I mean, I don't know how the car count was. I didn't watch it. I think it was on a different streaming platform. But, hey, that's pretty darn good. So I think it's cool. And it brings new fans to the sport, which I really like. So I thought it was pretty cool to see. Anyways, Bristol is the next event for the NASCAR Cup Series. It'll be next weekend. Hopefully it's kind of cold, so we get a lot of tire wear like 2024. I mean, Whatever they got to do. Give me the crazy tire wear of the 2024 spring race. That was an all-time classic. That was the most fun Bristol race I've ever watched. Even going back to like Tony Stewart Bristol Night Race 2012 or 2011, whatever it was. That was the most fun Bristol race I ever watched. I could not believe the tire wear. It was crazy. So hopefully we get some cool stuff like that. That's all for now. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Have a blessed one. And before I log off, Garrett Smithley's car in today's O'Reilly Auto Parts Series race. I'm still trying to get used to saying that. What a cool looking paint scheme. If you haven't seen it, look it up. Really cool paint scheme. Definitely like that. That was really awesome. That's all for now. DB, signing off.